evening and welcome to this edition of Inside Rebel Football. I'm Stanley Duper, your host, and I'm joined with head coach Kevin Davis. And Coach Davis, welcome to the show another week.
Thank you, Stanley. Appreciate it.
Well, Coach, first of all, we'll address the game Friday night. Just a very outstanding Zachary team is all I could tell people that didn't go, that listened to the game and listened to our broadcast or were not there. We had a great crowd. But your thoughts after you had a chance to watch the film and break everything down, your thoughts on the game and about Zachary.
Well, it's like you said, they're a great football team. I've only been involved in two of those games, but as far as the way they play the game, they're light years ahead of last year's group. Now, last year's group probably had some ooh-wee guys on them. The quarterback going to Alabama,
right.
Got a defensive end, I think, going to LSU, whatever. You had more guys like that, but this group here is fast. They're physical. They're big, and obviously, you can't help but look at 6'7" and 6'4" and 6'3" on the outside playing receiver. I thought the quarterback did an outstanding job just controlling the football game through pinpoint passes and did what he needed to do, and it just makes it a tough night. You say it all the time, Jimmys and Joes, and they had some Jimmys.
I don't think we kind of talked about this on radio. We can't remember. We played good passing teams in the last 25, 30 years. I don't know if I've ever seen a team that had as bigger receivers as they had, that many of them on one team, which created a lot of mismatch problems for our defensive backs. And I mean, you can have Deion Sanders back
Absolutely.
there, and if a guy's 6'8" and can out-jump him,
yeah.
It's just hard to defend that.
It is, and you talk about it all the time. Those guys do a great job coaching. They haven't been as deep as they are in the playoffs every year without having great coaches. But, you're 6'7", you say, okay, let's double team him. Well, then you've got three guys on the other side that are as good with speed, maybe not 6'7", but they're 6'4", 6'3", and you can't do that and take people out of the box and do the things that you try to do. And we were in great position on probably at least three of those, I know, and it doesn't matter. He's 6'7", you just throw it up to him, and you either got to give him a flag or go up and try to knock it down, and it's just a tough thing to do.
I thought they even ran the ball pretty good at times. We did a good job of adjusting and stopping the run. I think the pass, the big, massive offensive line, what did we have? I think two sacks only the whole night, and they did a great job, that big line, 6'3", 6'4", anywhere from 280 to 300 pounds
Yes.
all the way across. And our defensive front is pretty good size, but still, they just were a complete team, in my opinion.
Absolutely. It's I told our kids, you can't hang your head over that. That's one of the things, and I was so proud of our kids because they played hard the whole night. They didn't ever quit.
The effort was there.
The effort was there, and sometimes you're gonna meet a foe that's like that and play it. I hope we have the opportunity again, way down the road, to see those guys again, or somebody knock them off where we don't have to, one or the other. But I told them, I said, let's start in district this week. Let's regroup and see what we're made of, and they've done a great job this week doing that.
Coach, how's practice been this week? I know we're going to talk at the end of this segment about Pineville opening up district, but since you've had the loss Friday and 4-1, I mean, I think most people in our community looking at the schedule, everything that's involved with our coaching staff
Right.
since the beginning in fall camp, I think everybody in the community would have to pretty much agree a 4-1 at this stage in the game is very, very respectable for our football program. So how are the kids emotionally, mentally after this defeat and where we are going in the district?
I think they're good. Kids are resilient in that respect, and they understood and know that when we come in Monday, that this is what we need to do to get better. This is what we can correct, which is everything that we did. We felt like we got behind the chains, and that's because we missed some blocks up front. But they were ready to go. We've had a good week of practice. Had a really good Tuesday, which we haven't in the past couple Tuesdays. We had a really good Tuesday, and today They were spot on, focused, locked in. Sure is helping having some cool weather too, but I think we'll be ready for Friday night.
Talk about, we'll wrap this segment up. I'd like to just tell our viewing audience, what do you think, in your mind as the head coach, offensively and defensively, that our kids learned from the loss at Zachary this past Friday night?
Well, you almost have to understand and know that, you've got to play hard. That don't win ball games for you all the time. You have to execute. That gives you a better chance to win ball games. And really, in that situation, a lot of those 3 and outs, we've got to turn into another series. If you go 3 and out and then you put that defense back on the field against guys that can run like that and can play like that, you're creating problems for your defense. And
how many possessions do we have?
We had 11. We had 11, and that's more than we've had.
That's a lot.
But, we were like 6 for 11 in third down conversions, and I'm a big stickler on those things. Let's not go 3 and out. We can't go 3 and out. And so when you do that 5 times in a ball game, that gives that offense a chance, and you don't want to give those guys that many chances.
I'd rather have the defense sitting on the sideline than the offense is still running the football.
Yes, sir.
All right, Coach, we're going to take a break. We're going to bring in the second quarter edition. We've got athletic trainer Kirk Frampton coming in, and he's bringing a guest with him. And stay tuned for the rest of Inside Rebel Footballs. We'll move to the second quarter edition right after this timeout.
In the heart of our community, heroes arise every day. Teachers, firefighters, healthcare, law enforcement, EMTs, and military. Origin Bank recognizes you. Introducing Hero Mortgage and Hero Checking, waiving all major fees for our local heroes because you deserve it.
Choose Origin Bank, where heroes belong. I'm Rick Guillo, your local banker.
And I'm Justin Underwood, your home loan lender. We appreciate you.
At Origin Bank, every hero has an origin story.
For years, you've trusted us with your car buying experience. You've trusted us to provide service after the sale. You've even trusted us to help keep your vehicle clean. Now it's time for us to have some fun.
Polaris of Ruston, where the road ends, adventure begins.
Do you suffer from back or neck pain, sciatic, or even constant headaches? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Kyle Nix at the newly opened Twin City Chiropractic. My staff and I aim to provide long-term solutions to help you get back to what really matters, living your life pain-free. Our services include chiropractic care, spinal rehab and traction, massage therapy, whole body vibration, and Normatec compression. For kids to adults, we treat anyone who is in need of maintenance care, corrective spinal care, or personal injury and auto accident cases. Feel like you again at Twin City Chiropractic. We're located at 1117 Forsyth Avenue in Monroe, next to Cormier's, or call us at 318-582-5029.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Rebel Football. I'm Stanley Dupuy, and I'm joined by head athletic trainer, my old friend, Kirk Frampton. And Kirk, I call him Dr. Frampton on the sidelines, but Kirk, welcome to the show, and introduce who you brought with you.
Well, thank you, Stanley. This is Kara Juneau, and she is my senior student trainer, and she does an outstanding job.
Well, Kara, welcome to the show, and can I just tell you, I just don't know what the sidelines are going to be like without you being on there. I can't remember when you were not on the sidelines.
Well, they survived without me, so I'm sure they'll survive without me again.
Oh, come on now. I don't believe that. Kirk, tell us about what you do every day with your students and your student trainers, and then I want to talk to Kara about a normal day in her life as a student trainer.
So probably 17, 18 years or so ago, we developed the sports medicine program, and it really was an opportunity for us to create some interest, give these kids an opportunity to see what their interests might be professionally, but also for me, it was an opportunity for me to get some help. And with what we do every day, we have to set up the field. We have treatments that we do daily. There's taping. There's so many things that really, I kind of view them as being kind of my hands and feet. I try to train them, to do the basic skills of taping and setting up the field. Early morning treatment is very busy. We might have 20, 25 kids every morning from all sports that come. And so, it's an opportunity for these kids to learn a career in athletic training, but it also might kind of spark or create some interest maybe in some other allied health profession. So, but these guys do a great job, and I couldn't do it without them.
And so basically, just for the viewing audience, not just football, basketball, baseball, soccer, girls basketball, girls track, girls cheerleading, possibly powerlifting. So it's every sport at West Monroe High School that your department treats.
Right.
Kara, you've been here 4 years,
Yes, sir.
working under Coach Franham here.
Yes, sir.
Talk about your typical day. Getting there, what time you get there in the morning early to start all the stuff that Coach Franham was talking about, all the way up to, let's say, a game day.
Well, we start off bright and early at 7 a.m. and they'll come in and do treatment, and then after school we'll set up water and tape them for practice, and then we'll watch practice and watch for injuries or whatever, if we need to get Kirk if there's an injury or if we could handle it. And then game days, we do the devotional with the guys, and then we go down to the field and set up while they take their nap, and then we'll come back and tape for them, and then we'll make sure they have water out there for their warm-up, and then we go back down to the field and we get ready for when they come down there, get water all set up.
So it's a long day on a Friday.
Yes, sir, it is.
When do you have time to go to school?
That's a good question.
Oh, Kara, I want to ask you, what's your plans after you graduate from West Monroe? What do you want to do?
I'm going to go into toxicology and go into forensic science.
Okay, that's awesome.
Yes,
that's
sir.
awesome. Well, and the taping of the guys, let's just talk about practice or game day.
Mm-hmm.
How many guys do you have to tape on average every day? You and the student work.
It's a lot. We usually only tape the ones for games that we tape on practice, so I feel like game days are not as much, because practice, it varies every day depending on if they had an injury or if they're still hurting from a past injury, and then it depends on if they'll still get taped on Friday, if they're better or whatever.
Kirk, I know that you've treated my kids, you've treated my family, my nieces, and whatever like that in the sports they had at West Monroe, and I can remember bringing them in at 7 o'clock early in the mornings for treatment. And sometimes it looks like a MASH unit in there. I mean, there's not enough room for all the kids on the table. So, any plans in the future, or to expand that training facility?
Well, I mean, certainly there's a plan. There's always a plan,
right.
And it is. That's something that we would like to eventually be able to do. We certainly need more space. When we built the building in 2004, Coach Showes, of course, had a vision. And I was thankful that I was able to kind of get in on the front end of that. And at the time, the space was adequate. Now we've outgrown it, and we need more treatment tables. We need a space where other sports, especially for our females, to have a place that they can change, and really, being able to have more space, more equipment, we can accommodate more at one time, because we are limited on our time that we get them. But the early morning is an opportunity to treat them where it doesn't affect their academic classroom. And we know from a therapeutic standpoint, the more opportunities we can treat, the better they're going to be, the quicker they're going to be able to get back.
And I know that Coach Davis and the coaches before you really rely on your expertise. If a kid can practice that day or will be ready for game day on Friday.
Yeah, it really takes communication between me, the strength coaches, the position coaches, obviously Coach Davis is a head coach, and that's something that we do on a day-to-day basis with our injury lists, and that way I can give them recommendations, as far as whether they're going to have contact, no contact, practice, or out, or whatever. Right. But you definitely got to have a tight communication.
Right. Well, I want to thank Kara, I want to thank you for coming on to the show tonight, and Kirk's always great to hear from you, and we're just so blessed and thankful for having Kirk Franham as our head athletic trainer at West Monroe High School, and how he takes care of all our kids in our community. And good luck to you, Kara, after you graduate from West Monroe.
Thank you.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back with some highlights right after this time out.
suffer from back or neck pain, sciatic, or even constant headaches? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Kyle Nix at the newly opened Twin City Chiropractic. My staff and I aim to provide long-term solutions to help you get back to what really matters, living your life pain-free. Our services include chiropractic care, spinal rehab and traction, massage therapy, whole body vibration, and Normatec compression. For kids to adults, we treat anyone who is in need of maintenance care, corrective spinal care, or personal injury and auto accident cases. Feel like you again at Twin City Chiropractic. We're located at 1117 Forsyth Avenue in Monroe, next to Cormier's, or call us at 318-582-5029.
Coach, look what I got. The Rocket Fast Playbook. That's awesome, Sport. What does it say? First, you get him in the tunnel. Second, you blindside him with the wall of foam. Third, you call an audible. Then comes the Hail Mary. You hit him with the Fast Pass. Coach, it's brilliant. No dirty opponent stands a chance against Rocket Fast.
Hey, that's my playbook. Where'd you get that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just sing the song.
Rocket Fast. It's a blast, and your vehicle is clean.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Rebel Football, the third quarter defense edition, and I'm joined by new safety coach, new coach to West Monroe, Kobe Ashley. And Coach Ashley, welcome to the show.
Well, thank you. It's a pleasure to be here.
Well, I would like first to tell our viewing audience how you got your journey and how you got to West Monroe.
I got you. It's a really short one. I'd say about to celebrate my 10th year reunion from high school. But my high school years, I started out at Oak Grove, and I was blessed to be able to play under Vic Dalrymple. Learned a lot from that man. You know, grew up looking up to that man as well and ready to play for Coach Vic and everything. But I kind of got a double dose of it there because Ryan Gregory was my position coach. And so I got a double dose of the Oak Grove for sure. But learned a lot from those two men. And when Coach Gregory took over as the head coach in 2015, I came in as a junior high coach with him. And he allowed me to kind of shadow around with varsity, you know, roam the sidelines, be up in the press box, keeping stats or whatever else or whatever was needed. Kind of took a break from coaching there so I could finish up at Louisiana Tech. I was really involved on campus there, and so my time was kind of spaced out, right. You know. And so when I was trying to find a teaching job after graduation, you know, went around, interviewed at a lot of places, but, you know, nobody was hiring business teachers at the time, and Ouachita called out and gave me my start. And I, you know, I came in with Coach Fitz there, and then when Coach Garvin took over, you know, when he was taking over at West Monroe, he called and I answered the call, and so now I'm here. So it's been a long journey, but, you know, a fun one.
We're glad to have you at West Monroe. And one of the things that you do, I want to first talk about your position coaching safeties. We're going to have a couple of youngsters, sophomores, yes, are going to be on the show after this. And I want you to talk about what you do, you know, every day in coaching and how you enjoy coaching the safeties.
Well, working with the safeties this year, me and Coach D. Mike kind of split that task. You know, and he has other responsibilities within the program, and I do as well. And so we work really well together. And, you know, of course, with defensive backs, it's good to kind of come together and practice a lot. Me and right. Coach Truxillo have a good relationship as well. Right. And so day in, day out, we're kind of just, you know, tagging that. And, you know, there's a lot of times where we'll split for one-on-one passes over here, and then we'll be on the other practice field with an inside run drill, and it's easier for me and Coach D. Mike to kind of split that up. And I'm blessed to be underneath or work with a coach like Coach Dizer. Learn a lot from him daily. But
the guy that played in the NFL.
Oh yeah, and it's a good, you know, a role model to look
right.
up to as well. So especially in the coaching profession, you know, you talk about having role models when you're little, but in this profession you have role models as well, and I'm blessed to have him for sure.
Well, I want to talk to you about one of the new roles that's new to our West Monroe community and fans that you've brought since you came here. And you're our hype video guy and our just highlight video guy. Yes, and you have produced some outstanding work that we've seen at Rebel Clubs. They show them before the games. I know you show them to the kids. Excuse me. Talk about how you got into that and how it all how you got to doing that.
It was definitely happenstance. So at my last coaching stop, we felt like in the program there was a big need for it, and so I taught myself off of YouTube and whatever else I could find. You know, kind of used some resources from some friends I had. in media and social media and stuff like that. And I'm still learning daily with it, but there was a huge need for it. And so I kind of picked that up. And, when Coach Garvin came in, we worked together a lot with a lot of things, and he had a lot of ideas, and I kind of took some and rolled with it. And so coming over to West Monroe, you have the brand that is West Monroe. It's really easy to work with to an extent. So we just kind of applied some of the same stuff. I was approached about doing the hype videos before the game. There was the incredible video that you guys played before. I think it was made in 2016 or whatever.
Right.
And they came in. They were like, "Hey, can you make a video that's better than that?" I was like, "Whoa, okay."
Really good video.
It's a big task for sure. But weekly, I've got a good crew behind me of students. Trip Gordon, and I've got a couple of other students that kind of help out with our filming as well. But they're roaming the sidelines. You may see them down with cameras and stuff, but they're able to get a lot of good footage. And it's a lot with these kids and the product that they put out. It's really easy to point a camera and get good footage. So been blessed, but it is a task every week for sure.
I noticed one of the new things we have technology-wise on our video board, and we're just very fortunate and blessed to have a video board. A lot of schools don't have that, but I think it adds to the Friday night experience in West Monroe.
Yes,
one of the things that I think you've done is starting lineups for our kids.
Yes, sir.
And I think the thing I like about it more than anything is not only does it show the kid and the position he plays, but it tells what middle school he went to. And I think for a lot of junior high kids that are at the football games and are there with their families seeing that, they say, "Oh, well, I go to school at Riser Middle, or I go to school at Good Hope or Westridge." So talk about that idea. How did that come about?
Exactly what you just said. That was my idea behind it. Now the starting lineups, this is kind of a sneak preview of what it's going to look like. I'm still working with some other stuff, trying to get it, a little bit more animated instead of just the still picture and everything. But putting the junior highs up there was something that I wanted to do for that reason exactly. You have a little kid from, a sixth grader from Good Hope, or somebody that knows that they're going to Good Hope from an elementary school that may be sitting in the stands. And it was like, Nate Green, he went to my junior high. I can do that as well. I want to be that guy, because I can remember being from Oak Grove and walking through those elementary schools and seeing the football players walk by and just being in awe. I didn't know their names. All I knew was they wore the black jersey and they had that number on the front of their chest. So I can remember being in their spot. And so I kind of wanted to flash the same thing. We had that opportunity and that avenue to be able to do it. So I really like how it's going so far.
Kobe, last question. Talk about your family, married, kids, and all that.
Yes, sir.
How many kids you got?
I've got one, a 10-month-old baby. It's been a very.
Been sleeping good?
Oh yeah, for sure. Now he's been sleeping well here recently. But going through fall camp, that was a whirlwind because he was fresh and new to the world. But he's learning. And he's getting to where he smiles and laughs a lot. So it's a fun age for sure. But my wife, she's from the Monroe area. Sarah Mentor, Sarah Ashley now, I guess. We've been married for 2 years now. So it's fun. We're still kind of new with it, feeling it out, kind of getting adjusted to our schedule with the new baby and everything. But, my family's incredible. And I'm very blessed to have my wife. And, she allows me to kind of go off and work as much as I need to, as hard as I need to. And she kind of, keeps everything on lockdown home. So she's incredible for sure.
Nothing like being a coach's wife.
Absolutely, absolutely. I'm blessed to have mine for sure.
Well, Kobe, we're so glad, and we're very fortunate to have you at West Monroe High School, and we hope to have you throughout your whole coaching journey.
Yes,
and appreciate what all you've done with our video and technology, and we just can't wait to see all the new creation and enhancements you're going to continue to do there.
Absolutely.
All right, we're going to take a break, and we'll be back for our fourth quarter edition right after this. Time out.
For years, you've trusted us with your car buying experience. You've trusted us to provide service after the sale. You've even trusted us to help keep your vehicle clean. Now it's time for us to have some fun.
Polaris of Ruston, where the road ends, adventure begins.
In the heart of our community, heroes arise every day. Teachers, firefighters, healthcare, law enforcement, EMTs, and military. Origin Bank recognizes you. Introducing Hero Mortgage and Hero Checking, waiving all major fees for our local heroes because you deserve it.
Choose Origin Bank, where heroes belong. I'm Rick Guillo, your local banker.
And I'm Justin Underwood, your home loan lender. We appreciate you.
At Origin Bank, every hero has an origin story.
Welcome back to Inside Rebel Football, the third quarter defense edition. And I'm joined by two of our defensive safeties, sophomore sensations, Jordan Neck and Elijah Thomason. Guys, welcome to the show.
Thanks for having us.
All right, guys. How does it feel as a sophomore? Very few sophomores get a chance to play, not just play, but start on Friday nights at Rebel for West Monroe High School. There's been a few every year. Y'all are amongst that bunch. So I want to start with you, Elijah. Tell me what it's like to go from a freshman last year, junior high, middle school, and 8th grade, and now, just think 2 years ago you were at Good Hope. And so now you're at West Monroe. Talk about how the progression in 2 years has been and how fast the game goes.
Oh, it's really fast, but it's amazing. It's a great rush knowing that you are part of this big team, that you're expected to play like a senior and you have the standards of a senior and you're only a sophomore and you have 2 more years of it. It's amazing. It is really fun.
Jaden?
What's the question?
Well, how have you adjusted to being a starter as a safety at West Monroe?
You just kind of got to take it on. Like, you can't let it get to your head too much or bother you or scare you. You just got to take it on like you're one of the senior starters, because nobody's going to respect you if you don't.
Well, you guys have certainly played well the first part of the season, and of course I want to bring up last Friday night against Zachary. You probably faced 3 or 4 of the best receivers you're going to probably face, maybe until we get to the playoffs or play somebody, Ruston Washita down the road, maybe Ash. But those 3 guys were elite receivers. Talk about how difficult it was, and what did you learn this week after the game? Let's talk about that. Jaden, I'll start with you first.
They were tough. They were just faster than us. You could tell they had more experience than us on Friday nights. They were bigger. They're better at route running than we were at covering. What I took away from it is just got to get faster and stronger by next time we see them and not let that happen again.
That's good. Elijah?
I mean, they were all 3 really good receivers. I mean, 6'8", that is huge for a receiver, and we just had to do our job, and we didn't do our job. And we ran cover 1, and it wasn't horrible. We did our job in man. It's just they were better, and we just need to get better.
And sometimes and throughout life you're going to face people that are better, but that's what makes you better. Mm-hmm. And if y'all become better football players and a better team after this loss, then you will learn from this and you'll grow from this in your journey this year. All right, guys, I know you're not going to believe this, but over 40 years ago, I played your position. I was a safety. I know you can't tell it, but I was. Of course, they didn't throw the football like they did back in my day that they do now with the spread offense and everything. I would like to talk to y'all about, do you like covering receivers and playing a team that throws a lot, or would you rather play a team that doesn't throw as much and run the football so you can run up, watch the play, and then come up and help run support? I'll start with you, Jaden.
I like when they throw it more. It gives it more of like that edge. Like you don't know what's going to happen, but like whenever they throw the ball to my side, I know either I'm coming down with it. The mindset I have is I'm coming down with it, or he's not coming down with it. It's me or nobody. It's just like fun watching that 50-50 ball go up in the air.
And you like a team that throws the ball a lot. Elijah?
I kind of think it's split because I love to hit people and I love to pick balls off. It's just, it depends. Like, you got to be ready to do both. And I just like hitting people, honestly.
Well, and we want you to continue. Both of you guys hit people pretty well. Y'all tackle well and what have you. So let's talk about this. What's the biggest adjustment for y'all that has been from your freshman year to your varsity year? I'll ask you, Elijah, first.
Well, freshman year I was running back. I did not play any defense at all, and I got moved to defense about 2 weeks before the Sterlington game. Got thrown in. I was playing corner during the summer. They moved me to safety 2 weeks before the Sterlington game, and I've been practicing there ever since, and I have loved every second of it. And it has helped me tremendously as an athlete. My footwork is better, my speed is better, I'm getting stronger, recovered really well from my knee injury, and safety has helped me tremendously.
That's good. So basically you did play defensive back when you were in middle school. You didn't play it much your freshman year, but then you got converted to defensive back when you got to varsity this year.
Yes, sir.
Okay. Jaden?
Can you say the question one more time?
Okay. What's the biggest adjustment you've had from your freshman year to varsity?
My biggest adjustment is freshman year I was playing free safety. It's a pretty basic defense. My basically only job was to tell everybody else what to do and make sure nobody got behind me. But sophomore year, they told me they needed me to play all three of them if I wanted a chance to play on Friday night.
Let's talk about all three. Describe all three to our viewing audience, what all three is.
So you got the free safety, who
Right.
I like to think of like the quarterback of the defense.
Right.
You got the strong
Safety.
safety, who goes to the most receiver side.
Right.
Him and weak safety pretty much have the same job. And
Right.
a lot of our like defensive schemes, they have curl to flats, end zone, and then man, they just have their man. And weak safety does pretty much the same way. Weak safety puts in a blitz. Strong safety don't get that blitz.
Well, guys, we're going to go down and play Pineville and get start district play Friday night, and we cannot sleep on Pineville. It's first district game of the year. We're going to be on the road, and have you had a chance to watch Pineville a little bit on film? Primarily running, primarily throwing. What have you seen?
We watched their film the other day. I want to say they were 60% run, 40% pass.
Right.
I want to say something like that.
60. You're right.
Yeah. All right. Well, I want to wish you guys the best of luck, and we'll see you guys on Friday night down in Pineville.
Yes, sir. Thank you.
All right. We're going to take a break, and we'll be back right after this. Time out.
Do you suffer from back or neck pain, sciatic, or even constant headaches? Hi everybody, I'm Dr. Kyle Nix at the newly opened Twin City Chiropractic. My staff and I aim to provide long-term solutions to help you get back to what really matters, living your life pain-free. Our services include chiropractic care, spinal rehab and traction, massage therapy, whole body vibration, and Normatec compression. For kids to adults, we treat anyone who is in need of maintenance care, corrective spinal care, or personal injury and auto accident cases. Feel like you again at Twin City Chiropractic. We're located at 1117 Forsyth Avenue in Monroe, next to Cormier's, or call us at 318-582-5029.
Coach, look what I got. The Rocket Fast Playbook. That's awesome, sport. What does it say? First, you get him in the tunnel. Second, you blindside him with the wall of foam. Third, you call an audible. Then comes the Hail Mary. You hit him with the fast pass. Coach, it's brilliant. No dirty opponent stands a chance against Rocket Fast.
Hey, that's my playbook. Where'd you get that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just sing the song.
Rocket Fast. It's a blast. And your vehicle is clean.
Now let's take a look at some highlights. We're going to start offensive side of the football. Come out with a RPO right here, give the ball off to Caden Willis up the middle. Does a great job of just staying in the inside, getting his shoulders down. I think that safety has to come up and make the play. We always like 7 yards on first down. Makes it easy. Good job up front by Nate Green and those guys staying with it, knocking people backwards. You had Keith Hernandez in the middle right there. Just got him back, and it's good to have him back. We motion a little bit, see what they're going to do, throw the hitch route outside. They were playing off our outside receivers. In that part, Grant Edmondson had a great night catching the football. Could never get him on a deep route just because I think they respected us enough to stay off of us and give us anything inside. Then they would try to rally and make the play. Big first down play for us right there with Hayden throwing that to Grant. See it from the end zone angle, great protection. Hayden had all day to throw the football. Come back, you see the offensive line communicating back and forth there, which is important to us. Okay, we throw the screen, double screen right here. David goes inside. It's a great block right there by Jay Austin, just getting to the inside of the number 2 defender right there. Did a great job right there, getting number 1 out of the way, and got lineman coming out in front of David Moore. Takes it up the middle of the field and does a good job. Secures the football. Another first down. Come back to the quick game. They're going to respect Grant now. He can run, so they're going to play off of him. You can see it from the wide angle right here where they're bailing. Good timing on the throw. As soon as he comes out of his break, the ball's already there. And we had good protection all the way around. Good job right there by Nate, closing the B gap off, not letting that guy get inside. Go back to our Jets formation. He wants to throw the swing. Guy takes it. And this is one of our pluses to have Hayden as a quarterback. He can scramble, he can run, and it's always good when you have a running quarterback to be able to do that. And it just makes them have to defend more than 11 guys. You always say he's the 12th man, and that's kind of the way it works as far as offensive football goes. It's a great job by Hayden. Come back and go motion. Mike linebacker leaves the box. That's what we're looking for. Hayden pulls it down. We run a little inside draw off their odd front, and he picks up about 23 on the play. It's a good football play. Moved the ball well most of the night. Got behind the chains a couple of times. It cost us. Probably had 11 possessions on the night, which is really good. We usually average 8 or 9. So we had 11 of them, but the thing was you've got to get some 3-and-outs out of the way. We had too many 3-and-out drives. You really want to move the chains and keep the ball just to keep the defense off the field, and we didn't do a great job of that. Gets towards the end of the half. We go back to Grant on a switch route right here, stopping at 10. Good timing on the play. You see them switching right here, going inside and going outside, sitting down at 10 yards. Hayden sees the void, gets it to Grant on the inside for a big gain. Good protection all the way around. Has plenty of time. Nobody in his face. Great job by the offensive lineman. We'll go to the defensive side.
Whew. All right. All right, starting off here, kind of have them backed up in the goal line. This is second possession here. You're going to see from this end zone angle, you'll see number 4, but you're looking at number 46, Kyler Watkins comes free on a blitz right here. and kind of forces this pass to be a little bit higher than it should, high enough that it misses a 6'8" receiver streaking across. And Grant Edmondson is fingertips length away from being able to pick this off, kind of change the flow of the ball game a little bit, kind of give us some momentum going forward there. But good play Here you're going to see a counter. Our end, Brody Thurman, number 37, does a good job kind of squeezing that off, congesting it a little bit. And then Hayden Stewart, number 92, comes flying through to be able to make the play. Once again, you can see this a little bit better from this end zone angle here in just a second. You'll see this end to the right side, Mr. Thurman. Come in, does a good job squeezing, setting that edge, and number 92 comes and cleans it up. That's Mr. Hayden Stewart. All right, number 46, Colin Watkins, number 32, Parker Todd. You can kind of see them do a really good job of fitting and flowing right here. You're going to see Mr. Watkins fit the gap. You're going to see Parker Todd kind of come in from the right side and clean it up a little bit. This is what you want to see out of these linebackers, fitting and flowing. As soon as the back hits the hole, he's got a linebacker in his face. This is what you want to see out of these two cats.
Good job, scraping and squeezing right there. No lanes to run.
All right here, quarterback drops back, and Mr. Roark, this is what we talk about, trying to get mismatches up front. You hear it a lot of times in the secondary. You know, receivers, offenses are trying to get looks against certain DBs, but this is a look right here that we want as a defensive line. You want an H-back, Mr. number 37 right here trying to pick up Tyler Roark right there. It's just a lot of times a big boy moving, and like Roark does, it's just a mismatch, and he comes up big with a sack for us in a big situation. Kind of changing gears here. We're going to a punt formation. This is a big point in the ball game, trying to pin them deep. Daniel Lane does an incredible job pinning them on the 9-yard line here, getting enough loft underneath it where that returner says, heck no, I don't want to return this ball. So he's going to fair catch, you know, take the field position there. Great job by Mr. Lane here. Right here, backed up to the own goal line again, where you can kind of see we have a man coverage concept here. Elijah Thomason's going to come up with a big play out here in the flat. They're just going to try to swing it out there, let athletes be athletes in space. This is a big-time tackle and a big-time play by Mr. Thomason.
Had them covered all the way around.
Oh, yeah.
Good job.
All right, so right here we have good coverage on the back end. You'll be able to see it from a different angle here in just a second. But essentially we're going man across the board. Quarterback doesn't have any good option to throw it to, so he's going to take it down and take it himself. And right here you're going to see number 6, Sam Reagan, number 28, J.Q. Turner, come up with a big pursuit and a big play. It's going to force this tackle for a loss here.
We talk about angles all the time when we're playing defense, and Sam's angle right here was great. He's not chasing him. He's going to cut him off. He knows the guy can't beat him outside. Does a tremendous job.
Absolutely. All right, so right here we have a kickoff coverage. You're going to see these middle of the field guys. They're breaking down, getting past the wall. And Colin Watkins does a great job in pursuit right here. You'll see Elijah Thomason kind of come off the backside and kind of force him towards the middle. And then you'll see as soon as Mr. number 46, Colin Watkins, I've been saying his name a lot in these highlights. He's really coming along as a player this year for sure. But you're going to see him kind of, Thomason kind of cut him inside, and then he goes to start shutting down those feet as soon as Mr. Watkins hits him in the middle here. Like this end zone angle on kickoff.
Colin's been steady for 2 years on kickoff team, making most of the tackles. And a lot of times that's just a knack. You got a knack and a feel for where you need to be, where you're going, how to avoid. And
Absolutely.
He does a great job.
You know, we tell these kids all the time, you know, kickoff, a lot of it's effort, and that kid, 100% effort all the time, no matter what he's doing. I'm very lucky to have him. All right, so right here we're get a big play in a big situation here. You've got number 92, Hayden Stewart, and Hayes Fuqua coming together to kind of get a sack for us. You're going to see a lot of pressure up the middle. These guys playing with their hands, being physical at the point. and just, relentless effort right here, comes up with a sack. All right, so right here we kind of have a little zone play, a little zone blocking scheme up front. Number 92, Hayden Stewart, comes up with a big play. He reads the flow of the zone. He does a good job using his hands, getting to extension, and getting off and making a big-time play for us. See, there's the extension, get off. Oof.
Hayden might be the first guy that I've met that can read and react and can penetrate and react.
Oh, yeah.
Some guys can do one or the other, but not both. But he can do both.
Oh, yeah, he's a special player on that inside for sure. Had to have our back judge make an appearance there. It's a good play from the backside right here by Mr. Roark. A lot of times, you preach, and I'm sure, Coach, being an offensive coordinator, you preach and preach and preach. We got to be able to pick up backside. And when you got a guy like Roark screaming down, it's even more imperative that you get this backside. And he comes up with a big play right here for us.
See, they're expecting him to honor the speed sweep, and we have a guy scraping. Got a great scheme going on where we can turn Roark loose, scrape the backer. Parker Todd right there scrapes for the speed sweep, and we got both of them defended.
That's how you draw it up, huh? All right, so right here we're going to get I'm off on my, okay, gotcha. So we have a great job in coverage right here. You'll see David Moore at the top. He's one of our offensive players that we have to call on in a time of need, but he does a great job kind of high pointing the ball here and, putting a body on a body and being able to play man defense. You're going to see Sam Reagan run in as well, playing that free safety position over the top. He did a great job there. All right, so right here you're going to see Mr. Roark again, Mr. J.Q. Turner come in and make a big play for us.
Squeeze it, scrape it.
Just
there it is.
Up, baby.
Nowhere to go.
All right, you're going to see right here, this is not something we ask our backers to do a whole lot, but we're in a kind of a zone scheme. We're asking them to drop to the flat. JQ does a really good job of kind of getting out at that weak linebacker position. He's flowing that direction, does a good job avoiding, and then getting that ball out as well on the tackle. Now, they ended up calling it an incomplete pass, but does a really, really good job avoiding, getting inside, and making a big boy play right there. All right, so right here, Coach, this is the reason why I'm hoarse. I'm not going to lie to you. But Grant Edmondson, you're going to see, is another one of our guys that we pull from the offensive side of the ball on occasion. Does a great job in a trail technique right here. Has great leverage on him, working the hip just like he's taught. Ball's thrown a little bit behind, and he's able to make a play on it here. But, it's part of football. A lot of calls don't go our way sometimes. But really good play on the back end for sure. You're going to see J.Q. Turner here, just called his name a couple of minutes ago, but you're going to see him fit and flow right here and make a big-time play on an outside zone. Reading it, recognizing it early, being able to work outside and keep that back on his inside eye, does a great job right here in this situation.
Kids are still playing hard. Game's probably pretty much out of control at that point as far as score goes, but I was so proud of our kids and the effort they continue to give, play hard, get after it, do what they needed to do. That's probably a fumble.
Oh, yeah.
That
I
gets
thought
called
the same
incomplete.
thing. But like I said, one of those calls that doesn't necessarily go our way, but part of football. We have really, really, really good pursuit here. And what you're going to see is he's having to climb different levels. He doesn't want to run this football. He wants to put the ball in the air, and he's getting pressured from multiple different facets here, multiple different angles. But like you said, we had a lot of red jerseys flying around late in the ball game, depending on the situation. It's kind of cool to see them, still playing hard. So we got a screen pass here, trying to run a tunnel to the inside. I lost the number there, Coach.
There's 3 of them rally around it.
Sure, haven't played. We kind of see the tunnel kind of working its way back in. I do believe that's Mr. Turner as well.
Yep, Sam's involved there,
Yep,
seeing back in. Triggers.
Working to it, reading, reacting, getting to ball there. It's a great job.
Good
That's
job
Sam Reagan.
by Reagan.
All right, and that'll wrap up our highlights for today.
In the heart of our community, heroes arise every day. Teachers, firefighters, healthcare, law enforcement, EMTs, and military. Origin Bank recognizes you. Introducing Hero Mortgage and Hero Checking, waiving all major fees for our local heroes because you deserve it.
Choose Origin Bank, where heroes belong. I'm Rick Guillo, your local banker.
And I'm Justin Underwood, your home loan lender. We appreciate you.
At Origin Bank, every hero has an origin story.
For years, you've trusted us with your car buying experience. You've trusted us to provide service after the sale. You've even trusted us to help keep your vehicle clean. Now it's time for us to have some fun.
Polaris of Ruston, where the road ends, adventure begins.
Coach, look what I got. The Rocket Fast Playbook. That's awesome, sport. What does it say? First, you get him in the tunnel. Second, you blindside him with the wall of foam. Third, you call an audible. Then comes the Hail Mary. You hit him with the fast pass. Coach, it's brilliant. No dirty opponent stands a chance against Rocket Fast.
Hey, that's my playbook. Where'd you get that? Oh, it doesn't matter. Just sing the song.
Rocket Fast. It's a blast, and your vehicle is clean.
Hey, welcome back to Inside Rebel Football, the 4th quarter edition. And I'm joined again by head coach Kevin Davis. And Coach Davis, it's the 2nd season, the district season, 4-1 going into our district. We start on the road at Pineville. I think Pineville is coached by former West Monroe Rebel Brad Bell.
Bryant
Bell.
Yes.
And know Coach Bell, his dad, coached here for years. I know his dad. And talk about Pineville and what you've seen on film, and tell us a little bit about them.
They're young. He's trying to build something there. They've got a young football team. Very few seniors that start for him. I think they're 2 and 3 coming in to the game, and so it's one of those nights as a head coach you don't like too much because you're going to be the favorite going into it, right. And people are going to expect us to go out there and do what we do, and really and truly we expect ourselves to do that too. But it's one of those games where all you can do is focus on that opponent, focus on your assignment, do your job, execute well, no turnovers, no mistakes, and see how it plays out.
Coach, I know one of the things that that has plagued West Monroe this year, and it just you never can predict this, has been the injuries.
Yeah.
And we are just seemed like that. I mean, even against Zachary and games before that, we've had so many kids out. Our depth's been thin, but you've been able to play a lot more people. Talk about some of the kids that I guess I would say, or talk about some of these positions that are really that we're kind of thin at right now.
Well, you can. I told Coach Arledge he jinxed himself in a Rebel Club the other day because he said, I probably have the deepest position at linebacker. And all of a sudden we start losing one here with a shoulder and one here with a knee, and now we're bringing up freshman kids to fill in with the ones that we have, and so I told him, I said, look, don't talk about anybody else, talk about being deep anywhere, because we've had sickness, we've had injury, we've had concussion, we've had just different things happen, and I know you had Kirk on the show tonight, and Kirk's a tremendous trainer, does a great job. He probably looks at me and says, I know you don't want to see me coming, because he's going to give me the report on our kids.
I didn't ask Kirk that, but I did say I know he has the protocol. He has to deal with you and the coordinators and just say, hey, I don't think this kid's ready to play or practice. And as a head coach, I know it's got to be disappointing, but you got to do what's best for the kid.
Absolutely, absolutely. I trust I trust Kirk with everything. Okay, if that's what he says, that's the way we're gonna do it. I'm not gonna push or prod in that respect, because he does his job really, really well. And so, you know, I just have to trust that that's the way it is. We always say, next man up, and here we go, and see what happens, and we'll do that again this week.
You know, you mentioned that you got some ninth grade kids. You may pull up and may travel a little bit, travel with us Friday night. I don't want to get into any of those names, but how our freshman team is still, I think, undefeated.
Yes.
And they've been doing really well. And how many more games they got?
I think they have a couple. They have 2. They won't play next week. That's our fall break.
Right.
So our JV and our freshman team are off next week. So we can use those kids, and that's kind of why we pulled some of them up this week, just to give them an opportunity if it arises. Obviously, we still believe in what we've got up there. A lot of times, a little competition goes a long way, and will help a guy that maybe is losing focus a little bit. And so we've done that to try to help those kids out.
That's great. Well, Coach, I know that we're going to travel down to Pineville as a team, and you'll do your pregame meal here in West Monroe before you head down, and then I guess get down there a little before 5 and get in the dressing room, start getting taped up and ready to go against Pineville. Have you had a chance to talk to Coach Bell much this week at all?
I did. He reached out last Saturday to me, and just great guy. Told me he was an alumni from West Monroe, and I had met his brother Brad before, and so he said, look, if you need anything, let me know. Kind of told me about how young they were, and then he brought those teams over here Monday night. We played their freshmen and their JV, beat both of them, and we got to visit a little bit then, talking. And great guy. He'll give us. There'll be a great atmosphere down there, and he'll do things right, treat us right, and so we'll just be excited to get down there and play.
All right, Coach, I know it's going to be 7 o'clock down in Pineville. If you hope you can join us and travel with us as we go down to play the Pineville Rebels, the West Monroe Rebels versus the Pineville Rebels. We always say the Battle of the Rebels. And it'll be down in Pineville this Friday night at 7 o'clock. And Coach, I just want to wish you the best of luck Friday night as we start district, and let's try to get off to a good start, get that first district W, and then we'll be back in Rebel Stadium next week after that.
That's right. Thank you, Stanley.
All right. That'll about do it for this edition of Inside Rebel Football. I'm Stanley Dupuy. Good night. God bless, and go Rebs.